The Cyclist, by Erik Røde, 1755. Read by Richard D. Eisenhower. Continued.
Act 1. Training. Chapter 1. An Encounter. Scene 1. The Battle of Determination. The air was charged with anticipation as the cyclists gathered at the starting line, their sleek bikes gleaming in the morning sun. Coach Hendel, a seasoned strategist in the world of cycling, had a plan that could turn young Alex into an international sensation. This race, merely a prelude to the prestigious European Championships, offered the perfect stage for Alex to gain confidence and experience on the global circuit. In the midst of this elite field of riders, Coach Hendel paired Alex, a 15-year-old prodigy, with the seasoned veteran Robert, his own son. Robert, having already secured his ticket to the European Championships, was now on a mission to mentor and guide young Alex. Their partnership was a blend of youth and experience, a dynamic duo ready to challenge the best in Europe. "Remember, Alex," Coach Hendel whispered as he adjusted Alex's helmet. "Stay in Robert's slipstream during the flats, and save your energy for those climbs. That's where we'll shine." "Got it, Coach," Alex nodded, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nervousness. Coach Hendel's strategy was elegant in its simplicity. He knew Alex's strength lay in conquering hills, a skill he had honed tirelessly. With the Northern European competitors possessing more muscular physiques, they were likely to struggle on the climbs. However, the Italians, known for their late surges in the mountains, posed a different threat. The challenge was compounded by the shorter climbing leg on this American course. As the race began, the peloton surged forward, the riders jockeying for position. Alex, adhering meticulously to the strategy, found refuge behind Robert, just out of the other cyclist's sight. This clever positioning allowed Alex to draft behind Robert, conserving precious energy for the impending climbs. Their European counterparts were a crafty lot, well versed in the art of cycling strategy, but Robert's skillful navigation of curves kept Alex safe from their shrewd moves. "Stay close, Alex," Robert advised, his voice calm and reassuring. "We're doing great so far. Just follow my lead." The plan was unfolding flawlessly until disaster struck at the race's midpoint. A fellow cyclist, caught in a tangle, somersaulted over his handlebars, triggering a chain reaction of chaos. Alex couldn't escape the mayhem unscathed. His front rim was bent, and his chances seemed to crumble with it. The repair car arrived, but by the time the wheel was replaced, Alex found himself a staggering 3 minutes behind the leaders, an insurmountable deficit. Blood trickled from a gash on his forehead, but Alex, now a changed rider, refused to accept defeat. He mounted his bike with an unwavering determination and ignited a spark within him that transcended the young cyclist he once was. With sheer grit and an inexplicable surge of adrenaline, he sprinted back into the race. Scene 2. The Last 5. "You've got this, Alex," Robert shouted back, his voice a beacon of encouragement. Although Alex couldn't hear, Robert, as if communicating telepathically to Alex, added, "You can still catch up." By now, Robert and the other top 4 leaders were way ahead and out of sight from the crash site. Many cyclists who had crashed didn't rejoin, but something extraordinary propelled Alex forward. He pedaled with a fervor that left everyone in awe. His speed, unmatched by anyone on the course, remained unwavering through the miles that lay ahead. "No giving up now," Alex muttered to himself as he closed the gap, his vision focused solely on the road ahead. As the race leaders approached the climbing leg, Alex was still chasing from behind. Yet, it was as if the rhythm of ancient Roman drums suddenly echoed in his ears, urging him forward. He felt an uncanny synchronization with the tempo of the race. "The climbs, Alex, remember the climbs." Coach Hendel's voice echoed in his mind, a reminder of the strategy that had brought him this far. The climb loomed, and Alex's speed didn't falter. By the midpoint of the ascent, he began to catch glimpses of the lead riders. Robert, among the top 5, was just within reach. Then, Alex discovered an even higher gear, a surge of energy that he had never felt before. It was as if the mountains themselves were propelling him upward. "We're closing in, Alex." Robert's words of encouragement reached his ears. As the race unfolded, it was essential to remember that this particular competition held no significance in the overall rankings. It was merely a warm-up event for the impending European Championships, a chance for riders to test their mettle before the grand showdown in the northeastern U.S. However, there was a captivating twist to this seemingly ordinary race. Any non-internationally ranked cyclist who managed to secure a position among the top 5 finishers would receive an automatic invitation to the prestigious European Championships. It was a wildcard opportunity, a golden ticket to the pinnacle of European cycling. This knowledge added an extra layer of tension to an already intense competition. 3/4 of the way up the climb, he was closing in on the top 5. The other cyclists sensed his relentless pursuit and responded with their own burst of speed. Robert, realizing the unprecedented pace, shared a quick glance with Alex. It dawned on him. The Europeans, their pride wounded, had kicked into panic mode. "We're in this together, Alex," Robert shouted, a newfound determination in his voice. Now, 6 riders hurtled down the straightaway, and victory was anyone's game. Alex held his ground in 6th place until the finish line. It was a phenomenal achievement, an evidence to his unbreakable spirit and unwavering determination. "You did it, Alex," Robert exclaimed as they crossed the finish line. "You're a true champion." The top European cyclists acknowledged Alex's extraordinary performance, extending heartfelt congratulations. In their eyes, they saw not just a rival but a promising future for American cycling. Coach Hendel and Robert brimmed with pride and joy. America had staked its claim in the world of cycling. Until then, the Europeans had ruled. Scene 3. A chance encounter. A few years later, amidst the rolling Italian northern hills of the late 1950s, where the landscape seemed to breathe with history, Alex, in his early 20s and standing tall at 6 feet, with a chiseled facial contour and a lean frame, was a beacon of youthful determination. His roots might have been in the New York City streets, but here, amidst the rural beauty of Italy, he found a different kind of inspiration. As the sun bathed the fields in a golden embrace, he pedaled with the spirit of adventure coursing through his veins. With the wind tousling his short blonde hair and his chiseled features set with determination, Alex turned to his teammates and said, "Let's give it our all, guys. These hills are nothing compared to the Alps." His teammates, some of them more seasoned in the sport, acknowledged his prowess. Alex's muscular legs powered him forward with each pedal stroke, propelling him through the winding roads of the Italian countryside. His athleticism was undeniable, and it was this physical strength that often set him apart in the world of competitive cycling. His teammates echoed their enthusiasm, and together they carved through the winding roads, their synchronized movements a witness to their rigorous training. Each pedal stroke was a declaration of their commitment to the sport and the dream of conquering the European Championships. As they raced, Alex couldn't help but feel the weight of his European heritage. His father's Norwegian ancestry and his mother's German roots were deeply ingrained in his identity. He often marveled at the stories of his farming ancestors, their strong work ethic, and their connection to the land. Those values, passed down through generations, were his moral compass. During a water break, Alex said, "You know, my grandparents were farmers. They worked the land just like these folks around here. Hard work, honesty, and perseverance. That's what they taught me. It's what I bring to this sport." His teammates nodded in agreement, respecting the principles that guided Alex's life. He saw himself as a modern-day Captain America comic hero, embodying the virtues of justice, honor, and the pursuit of excellence. As the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm golden hue across the picturesque Italian countryside, Alex pedaled alongside his teammates. The winding road stretched ahead, inviting him to push his limits, to embrace the challenge that the European Championships promised. The rhythmic cadence of his pedal strokes filled the air, an evidence to his unwavering determination. But in the midst of his focused ride, a peculiar sight caught Alex's attention. Ahead, on a quaint 3-wheeler bicycle, an older Italian woman named Ponti was struggling with a flat tire. The sight triggered a vivid flashback to a moment from his childhood, one that had set him on the path of cycling. Scene 4. The flat tire. Alex, his thoughts momentarily drifting back in time, his voice tinged with nostalgia, said to himself, "I remember it like it was yesterday." In the flashback, young Alex, at the tender age of 8 or 9, found himself in a situation that would forever change the course of his life. It was a sunny day in New York City, and he was out exploring with a sense of youthful adventure. He had ventured far from home when he encountered a scene that etched itself into his memory. He stumbled upon a group of kids gathered around a broken-down bicycle. The bike's owner, a boy around his age, looked distraught. The tire was flat, and the other kids were teasing and taunting him. But instead of joining in, young Alex felt an unexpected surge of empathy. Young Alex, looking at the distressed boy, his eyes filled with determination, said, "I can help you fix it." With little hesitation, Alex rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He had watched his father tinker with tools in the garage countless times, and some of that knowledge had rubbed off on him. As he repaired the flat tire with makeshift tools, a sense of accomplishment washed over him, and he saw the boy's tears transform into a radiant smile. The boy, his voice filled with gratitude, said, "Wow, you're like a superhero." From that day on, cycling became more than just a mode of transportation for young Alex. It became a symbol of his ability to make a difference, to be a hero in unexpected moments. The memory of that transformative day stayed with him, shaping his character and instilling in him a deep love for cycling. Alex, snapping back to the present with a newfound sense of purpose, talked to himself, "And that's why I love cycling. It's not just a sport. It's a way to be a hero when it matters most." But amidst the camaraderie and dreams of cycling glory, fate had a different plan for Alex that day. The sight of Ponty struggling with her flat tire tugged at his heartstrings. It was a moment that defined the essence of Alex, a compassionate hero ready to lend a helping hand. Alex, to his teammates as he veered off the training route, yelled, "I'll catch up with you guys later. There's someone who needs our assistance." With those words, he left his teammates behind, disappearing into the Italian countryside. His determination to reach the European Championships was momentarily overshadowed by a simple act of kindness, a chance encounter with Ponty and the beginning of an unexpected journey that would intertwine his destiny with Carlo and Ponty in ways he could never have imagined. Scene 5. A patchwork of language and a late arrangement. Drawing closer to Ponty, I realized the formidable barrier that lay between us, the language barrier. Her English was limited, as was my Italian. Yet, the universality of gestures and expressions proved to be a bridge, connecting us in a shared understanding. With a few words and a series of nods, I conveyed my intention to help. Alex extended his hand forward with a friendly smile and said, "Hello, I'm Alex." Ponty, reciprocating the gesture with a warm grin, placed her hand in his and replied, "Ponty." Alex, gesturing to the flat tire, mimicking fixing it with hand gestures, talked to himself, "All right, let's get this tire fixed. I've done this 100 times." Ponty, her eyes brightening with understanding, nodded enthusiastically, watching with curiosity. Ponty, gesturing towards the flat tire and then to herself, said, See. As I crouched beside her three-wheeler, the expert in cycling, I began to mend the flat tire myself. I reached into my cycling kit, extracting a tire lever and a small pump. The first challenge was prying the tire away from the wheel's rim, but years of experience made it seem almost effortless. With the tire removed, I inspected the inner tube, searching for the source of the flat. It didn't take long to find it, a tiny thorn embedded in the rubber. Carefully, I removed the thorn and then used a patch kit to seal the puncture. The adhesive patch adhered smoothly, a proof to my well-practiced technique. Ponty watched the process with keen interest, her limited English occasionally expressing words of encouragement. As I worked, I talked to myself, explaining each step in a mixture of English and hand gestures. The second challenge arose when I tried to reseat the tire on the rim, but a bit of tire lever finesse did the trick. With the tire back in place, I used my pump to inflate it to the correct pressure. It took a bit of effort, but soon, the tire was taut and ready for the road. As I stood back, satisfied with my handiwork, Ponty clapped her hands in delight, her face lighting up with a smile. We may not have shared a common language, but in that moment, the language of cycling and the universal understanding of a helping hand had forged a connection between us. Time slipped through our fingers, and the encroaching darkness hinted at the lateness of the hour. I admired my handiwork of fixing Ponty's bicycle tire, a sense of accomplishment warming me even as concern tugged at my thoughts. My cycling teammates were likely far ahead, disappearing into the gathering night. The road back, now obscured by shadows, felt like an unfamiliar labyrinth, with uncertainty looming like an unseen obstacle. Alex, concerned and looking around, talked to himself. My team. They're probably way ahead by now. Ponty, her gratitude unwavering, could sense my unease. She extended a heartwarming invitation, her limited English and expressive gestures making her intent clear. She insisted on escorting me to her home, assuring me that it was not too distant. Gratitude swelled within me, a sentiment that transcended the boundaries of language. Ponty, with a warm smile, said, Vieni, vieni. Casa. Mia. Non. Lontana. Come, come. My home, not far. Alex, sincerely, replied, Grazie, Ponty. Thank you, Ponty. I appreciate your kindness. As we set off together, her three-wheeler and my road bike forged an unexpected companionship. The evening breeze carried whispers of a tale yet to unfold, and in the fading light, our silhouettes merged into a unique bond that defied words.
The Cyclist, by Erik Røde, 1755. Read by Richard D. Eisenhower.